Hello, everybody. My name is Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics 365 MVP, and I'm here today on this Partner Talks with Brion Reusche from Microsoft. Brian, tell the people who you are, what you do, and all about the community event we just attended.
Oh, great. Great to see you again, Rick. So my name's Brion Reusche. I live here in sunny Denver, Colorado. In terms of my Microsoft kind of life, I've basically been around business applications for the entirety of my career. So I spent a lot of time in the partner channel doing implementations and pre-sales and such. Eventually, I kind of joined Microsoft in a role several roles ago called a global black belt, helping our accounts globally. I was most recently speaking with you a couple of years back, Rick, when I was in charge of the commerce business, and now I have the pleasure and opportunity of working in our corporate business, running a team of basically solution architects, and trying to help our customers out, help our partners do more with less. So, been around the channel my whole career and love talking about community and how we kind of grow the ecosystem.
So, what version of Dynamics did you start with?
Oh gosh, now you're going to date me, Rick. I think my first version of Dynamics would have been back in the Axapta days. I think it was 3.0, so I wasn't one of those 2.5 guys, but I got some chops, so it's
Yes,
good.
you've been there, done that. Okay,
Right.
great. So, you and I were a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago or so, in Charlotte for the North American Community Summit. And it was an outstanding event. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with Summit and what did you think of the event?
Yeah, so my involvement with Summit. Well, I mean, let's start back, kind of looking at that history with me and Dynamics. I've effectively been engaged with community in one way or fashion for my entire career. So even back to the time that I was in the end user community, I'd go to these events because I knew, I could learn a lot, I could meet a lot of people, and I could be around like-minded individuals. But from a this year perspective, from a Microsoft perspective, to be frank, this is the singular best scale opportunity for us Dynamics to talk to our customers and partners. And when I think about that conversation, and you look at kind of a very inclusive community, it really gives us access to unfiltered, unfettered truth. So there's lots of opportunity, of course, to walk around, learn about partners, learn about customers, people that are doing interesting things with the platform. But for me, it's really an inclusive and a positive environment. There's no, us and them. There's just a whole bunch of people that have made their lives around Dynamics. So, it's for me, it's very personal. I find it edifying and energizing to be around that kind of community. And also, just on a purely personal basis, I think that it's kind of career de-risking, right? I spent time in the end user community. I spent time in the partner channel. I'm spending time at Microsoft now, but I know fairly certainly that I'm never going to be outside of that ecosystem, which is really really good for me in my my personal journey. So.
And if we look at, the summit, I think we both started going there early on. And I remember we were in hotels and, three, 400 people, and then it started to grow. And, pre-COVID, we were probably in Phoenix, I gotta say 7,000 people. And we started to see that again this year in Charlotte. I'm gonna say, I don't know what the official number is, but there was probably over 4,000 people there. And, coming together around dynamics, around helping each other, there was a lot of energy. And I'm always surprised at how many sort of net new people come walking in for the first time, don't know anything, and by the time they leave, they know some people, they're involved with a community, they know more about their product, and I think they become really excited about what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. I would also go so far as to say I saw a lot of we would call them prospects, but people that are in the evaluation stages of Dynamics. And I think it's a really interesting opportunity for them to go and hear stuff directly from our users, directly from our partners, and directly from Microsoft that's above and beyond what you get in kind of marketing slicks and websites. We had several opportunities where we were talking with people that are considering a Dynamics journey and them seeing this community, them seeing the amount of people that are there to help them really made them kind of think about, well, this is where we should be going with our business. Really cool.
And I know that you were also involved with another community, the partner community, because they had a pre-conference partner event, which was sold out. And I kind of heard about it, a couple of weeks ahead of time. So I was lucky enough to get in. But tell us about that event because you were part of the committee putting that together, I believe.
Yeah, so you heard about it a couple weeks before the event, which means you heard about it as it was happening because we literally threw this thing together probably in the course of about a total of 30 days and it sold out, right? Which when you're thinking about kind of event planning, that doesn't happen unless there's exceptional demand. So, like you said, myself, the folks from Dynamics communities, a gentleman named Joe from Celios all kind of came together and said, how do we reach partners at scale? At the end of the day for Microsoft, we don't reach our numbers without our partners. And our partners need to know how best to work with Microsoft in order for us to win. So, we scrambled. I'm glad to say it came off well for that sold out crowd. But we brought in kind of our corporate team with Alfredo and Niels and Cecilia and Steve. We had myself, Howard, speaking about how you actually engage directly with the field team, and then we had kind of some superstars within the GPS organization. Mary and Johan, Tracy and Justin all talking about how best to convey yourself when you're working with Microsoft so that you are one of those top of mind partners, which is important to this audience.
And I think that, when the partners, we live in separate worlds, right? And we just don't get to see Microsoft people that often anymore. So when we come to a conference like that, we know there's a lot of Microsoft executives there, but when we can get them in one room to talk to us at one point with other partners, I think we really, jump at that opportunity. And for me, it's not only talking to the Microsoft people, all the other partners that I haven't seen in a long time are standing around that room. So, we've got another chance to network. So I'm really glad that from a community perspective, they added that to the front end.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that P2P motion in particular, I think is just such a huge opportunity as we've built solutions that bring more and more value to our customers. We know that everybody can't be everybody to everything to everybody. So, how you build those relationships within the partner channel, I think is super important.
Okay, so I know you're a big advocate of the community. What do you got coming up for the near future and into 2024?
Yeah, good question. I've got some North Stars that are kind of like up here nagging in Brion's mind. But at the end of the day, I consider myself a native to this business, right? I know that I need to be here for the long term. I know I need to kind of seek harmony with the neighbors and surroundings, and ultimately, being a native gives me access to the best happy hours and locals discounts and things like that, right? That's the analogy I like to make. But when you think about this, D365 growth has been so substantial and outrageous over the years that there's a lot of new faces. There's new partners seeing new opportunities in a channel they might not have engaged in previously. There's people new to Microsoft who are bringing their knowledge about how Microsoft does business at scale and then moving it over to business applications. And ultimately, we, Microsoft, like or to leave it, we kind of have a short organizational memory, right? So for me, first off is making sure everyone knows about these great events. And then second, it's making sure that Microsoft is bringing its best self because we know we need to be there wherever our customers and partners are. So, ultimately I'm working with some people in corp, trying to make business cases about deeper engagement with community. But for me and for my team, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows about this stuff, whether it's the keystone events like Summit or DynamicsCon, whether it's the regional events, whether it's the online events. I think that there's so much value to my business in particular that I'm going to, kind of drive engagement to the best of my ability within the scope that I can define. So just super passionate about it and looking forward to, further engagement over the year.
Okay, Brion, I want to thank you for your time today to talk a little bit about community, and I'm sure I'll be back talking to you more probably in the new year.
Possibly. We'll see you, Rick.